Welcome back to the morning show here on ETV. Now, some thrilling news from the heart of Joburg's development hub. The newly developed Fourways Mall was unveiled to the public very recently and is turning the heads of mall goers and architecture enthusiasts alike.
That's absolutely right, Nelly. The mall, which was developed by Azrapart and is co-owned with the Accelerate Property Fund, has taken top honors in the African Property Awards in a number of categories. In fact, the mall was recognized as the best in the retail development, retail architecture and retail interiors categories.
And if you haven't been yet, it's an absolute must-see with world-class architecture and a shopping experience with over 380 stores, over 250 brands and entertainment for the entire family. We caught up with some of the brilliant minds behind this very innovative design. Take a look at this.
Well, I think the original Fourways Mall was nowhere near what it is today. We bought the centre of about 60,000 square meters, and we came to Johannesburg to come and find a position for a super sport health and adventure club, which was supposed to be competition for what you know today as Virgin Active. We came across the site where Fourways View is today, and we built the Fourways View development as the first phase. This was owned by Sanlam, this original development of Fourways Mall. We asked them to buy it, and they refused us in the beginning. We then went and bought 7 properties that surround the Fourways Mall, and eventually bought the Fourways Mall from them.
The total new construction area is approximately 408,000 square meters. To give perspective, that equates to approximately the size of 57 soccer fields. It required approximately 17 tower cranes. The structural composition of this mall is a hybrid structure. What do I mean? It comprises of conventional reinforced concrete, typically used in South Africa, pre-stressed concrete, and pre-cast concrete. Collectively, it is the biggest hybrid structure constructed in Southern Africa. Before I give you some exciting statistics on materials that were used, it is important to note that with the magnitude of the 408,000 square meters of construction area built here, it added to the existing offering of approximately 80,000 square meters of gross lettable area, 226 shops.
The Fourways Mall is uniquely different in that it is not a new development on a greenfield site. In other words, it's not a vacant site where there are no existing structures. The Fourways Mall is encapsulated by the existing mall on the south and the east, the northeast parkade on the northeastern part, Game on the northern corner, and also Fourways View on the western part of the site. So as a result of that, the architecture of Fourways Mall is an internalized architecture. However, there are features on the development which makes it architecturally part of the precinct. It manifests itself in that regard.
Another exciting fact in terms of a dominant material used is your steel, used either as reinforcement steel in the concrete structure or structural steel. For example, the construction of the promotions court roof that stands behind me. To give you a sense of magnitude, 17,000 tons of steel was used on this project. Relatively speaking, the FNB Stadium, which we all know, approximately a 95,000 seater stadium, that used 22,000 tons of steel.
Well, obviously, as time goes by and as our country is very dynamic at the moment and has been for the last 20 years, it's been changing and a different demographic has been moving into various suburbs. The growth of even Diepsloot down the road is a massive influx of people for us, to the shopping center. And you have to morph the shopping center and the types of stores, create the tenant mix that talks to that market. Not only that market, but also a very affluent market in Fourways. You also have the likes of Steyn City, down the road, which is poised to be a very affluent market. So you need to cater for all the potential customers that you have in South Africa. And luckily for us in Fourways, you can cater from a 1 LSM to a 10. You know, you're catering right across the board. The other significant thing that we recognized is that people are becoming more and more used to using the taxi facilities. So we created a taxi facility inside the shopping center with retail that talks to that market specifically, but also allows that market to access the mall with ease. And the important thing there is that you have about 3,000 people working in the shopping center permanently. Those 3,000 people are your customer. They are the new managers of Edgar's, of Just Japs behind you. A lot of those people, their first priority is not to buy a car. Their first priority is to build a home. They want to have nice things in their home, so they don't see a car as the first priority. They will still use the taxi for a very long time to come, although they are a middle-class income shopper. So we've catered for that market, and we believe that segment will grow substantially over the next couple of years. And yes, I mean, you can see the types of stores we put in play. You know, it caters for all sorts and all cultures. You know, we have prayer rooms in the shopping center to cater for the Muslim community. You know, there's various aspects to the shopping center. Keeping it relevant is obviously something that continuous study, you know, through the markets help you.
We, along with our client, visited the Westfield malls in London, 2 of them, and also the Dubai Mall and the Mall of the Emirates, obviously in Dubai, to look at what's being done internationally so that we can at least develop an offering which is on par with the international standards. However, having visited those centers, I believe that nothing new emanated from that. Some of the malls in South Africa do reflect what we see overseas, and I believe that the Fourways Mall is really on par with any standard that you can experience internationally.
The inspiration behind the designs, we were approached by Boogertman+Partners for a big glass installation at the Fourways Mall. It comprised of 5 sets of 5 different places in the mall. So each design had a color orientation to a certain color at the level that the mall installed the glass. We decided on what is possible in glass blowing and what is also a bit more difficult in glass blowing. We designed round shapes that range from 400 to 500 to 600 diameter, which is quite a large plate to make. The inspiration, as I said, was color-coded. We went on the size. We also made different shapes that looked like fish, and we made shapes that looked like teardrops to bring an interesting angle on the objects that hang from the roof.
In retail principles, you want to try and provide parking as close as possible to the national or the anchor tenants. And from the Northeast Parkade, in close proximity to that, we have Pick n Pay, which is a national anchor tenant. And we designed a bridge link from the Northeast Parkade across Short Street, which also forms a portal to the main basement entrance to Fourways Mall. That bridge link is a double volume structure, and it has a multicolored glass facade, which is quite dynamic in that the color within the link and the white reflected tiles changes during the day as the sun shifts and strikes the glass at a different angle. Because of the magnitude of the development, the malls are very long, and the architecture is really vested in the almost high street experience. And through the diversity of the shop fronts, the merchandise that's on display, the ceiling features, and also the lighting effects. And then there's also a natural light that comes through the skylights in the various courts, which links it to the existing mall, and also the prominent feature in the mall itself, which is the promotions court. The promotions court is a multi-function arena, let's call it that, where they can have concerts, displays, promotions, even trapeze artists. It can even accommodate that.
This opportunity to participate in this really big project gave us the chance to expand on our studio. And we are now a privately owned studio, and we are opening our doors, as we have always in the past, for students to come and learn from us and participate in projects like this. And I think this whole Fourways enabled this and made it possible to branch out and include the community.
This has taken us probably 20 years to get to this point. So it's been a long ride, and the first couple of years were really just planning. This has taken us about 4 years to build. And yeah, I mean, now that it's where it is today, we can thank the people of Fourways because they've had to endure a lot of cranes and trucks and noise and all the different disruptions.
Many of the features that you see in this mall are absolutely bespoke and unique to South Africa.
Well, winning property awards is obviously a nice feather in the cap, but it's never something that the developer should take as his prize. The property awards is something that is done by our team. And when we did this, we embarked on saying, let's get the best of breed. For every professional that we have in South Africa, who is the best guy to take this project forward? And as you can see, it's a substantial project. It's by far the biggest shopping center in the country, from a retail point of view, and there's so much more to come.